This is a free sample of the book, Reinvent Ideal, What to Do When You're Depressed and No One Cares Because You're Not a Chick, by Cairo Copeland. The first half of this book is posted right here on YouTube, free for everyone to listen to. If you like this content and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/ideal. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/ideal.
Chapter 8. Gravitational Pull to Poverty. At some point, everyone says to themselves if they just had a little more money, they'd be happy. Actually, it's at every point. The thinking is that money can cure worries because it pays off the bills and you don't have to work a job you hate because of the rising costs of living. Not just having a little extra money, but great wealth comes with great advantages. The business channels might even put you on the air and make you part of their cigar-smoking, golf-playing club. You're instantly more important to society, and young, hot women will want to marry you even when you're almost too old to remember what sex even is. But according to statistics, this doesn't make you happy. While American citizens are quite wealthy, the average Nigerian makes only $300 a year, and somehow they are ranked as some of the happiest people in the world. Whereas the US hands out 120 million prescriptions for anti-depressants a year. Perhaps where you start has a lot to do with how you'll feel wherever you end up. Firstly, feelings of happiness are adjusted downwards in the brain after a goal is achieved, like attaining a new car, for example. It's awesome for a few weeks, maybe, but when it becomes part of the day-to-day expectations you have, it's common and mediocre. This occurs most likely if your parents buy one for you, but even if you worked your butt off for years to get one, the effects and memories of the hard labor outweigh the effects of finally getting the thing. Secondly, it's in our nature to compare ourselves and our statuses to others. Once you get rich enough to be golf buddies with Warren Buffett, especially as a new arrival, you subconsciously seek the approval of your newly attained friends. Thus, you want to be keeping up with them, like the whole keeping up with the Joneses phrase suggests. I mean, remember when AIG executives were complaining about salary caps after their company was bailed out by the federal government? That's because their friends were making twice as much money as them. And it gets even worse than just wanting to keep up. Soon, that's no longer good enough. Soon, you want to lead. Thomas Frank, a Wall Street hotshot, says he wanted stuff that would pose a huge middle finger to his superficial golf buddies. Also, be glad you never won the lottery, because attaining instant wealth is even worse. Now take it from this poor guy, William Bud Post III, whose $16.2 million in lottery winnings brought him debt, despair, and heartache, causing the kind of trouble often recounted in country western songs. He died of respiratory failure at a Pittsburgh area hospital. The reason the man was poor in the first place was because he didn't know how to handle money. And getting more of something he doesn't know how to handle, it was like Courtney Love washing up on a beach made of cocaine from an ocean made of liquor. Long-lost cousins, classmates you don't remember, and members of the opposite sex that wouldn't give you their time of day before start moving in on you like leeches. They may seem friendly at first, but then you'll learn to predict what each of them will say. Quite often, the story is they're about to default on their mortgage or die from cancer having no health insurance unless someone helps out. Now, if you're like me, you'll politely tell them to just go bone a beehive, but that doesn't improve your situation, according to good old lottery-winning Bud. Some people will stop at nothing to get at your money. Someone even hired a hitman to get at his. That someone was his own brother. Okay, so you don't want to be filthy rich throwing money on the fire to keep warm in the winter. You just want to solve your money problems. Well, think about this logically. You say money is causing you problems, but you think the same thing that's causing your problems will suddenly solve them? Money, despite being a tool that should buy happiness, has found a way to hinder it, not just by ruining social relations and increasing meaningless vanity pursuits, but also by taking away one of life's greatest joys, serendipity. One of the few things about the randomness of the universe that's good is that sometimes it can randomly drop good things on you. It's moments like when you see an astonishing waterfall, when you're on a hike, when you catch the perfect wave while surfing, or when a beautiful woman in public starts flirting with you and you didn't expect it. Money takes the magic out of these moments, because having a lot of it influences you to think that you can have whatever you want, whenever you want. There's less of a positive effect on the mind in savoring up life's random presence in the moment. Sometimes you don't desire to savor in them at all, since you can just buy them whenever you feel like it. So I say to you, be grateful to start out wherever you have on the financial spectrum, even if it's abject poverty, because starting from there will make you grateful for each new dollar added to your net worth, and gratitude cultivates lasting satisfaction a lot better than fast fixes. I will say, however, that there is one way in which money can make you happy, the way you spend it. As mentioned earlier, any possession you buy will only produce a fleeting satisfaction. Time spent with that possession will only produce diminishing returns. When that money is spent on other people, those returns diminish very slowly, or may last as long as your memory can hold them. Experiences have a beloved nostalgia residual effect on them, and you tell stories about them for the rest of your life. Just telling the stories sometimes is enough to rekindle the positive vibes. Harvard Business once conducted an experiment to determine whether it was the amount of spending power that makes us happy, or the type of spending that does the trick. The results were astounding. They gave random strangers $5 bills and $20 bills, told some to spend it on themselves and told others to spend it on other people. Much of the spending that's done on ourselves is, by its nature, antisocial. Things like Netflix subscriptions, clothes, video games, etc. These are things that focus on the self, but spending money on other people is, by its nature, pro-social, because you have to talk to another person to spend money on them. The happier subjects in the experiment were the ones that spent money on others. They bought things like a stuffed animal for a kid, a coffee for a friend, or gave cash to a charity. When our spending is focused on improving our lives, we're trying to track down an ever-moving target that can't be hit because we are very familiar with our inability to be satisfied. But by being charitable to another person, while still not hitting the ever-moving target, we do something for them that they could not have done for themselves. We show them not everyone in the world is a self-centered asshole. We show them hope. This isn't to promote socialism or suggest that spending on others should be forced for the sake of the greater good. The voluntary component of it is what makes it magical. But do ponder this. Which team would work better as a team? One where each member only looks after themselves and spends their own earnings only on themselves? Or one where each member is randomly spending money on another regularly?
Thank you for listening to this free sample of the book, Reinvent Ideal: What to Do When You're Depressed and No One Cares Because You're Not a Chick, by Cairo Copeland. If you enjoyed it and want to hear or read the rest, or want to listen to it free of ads, visit reinventideal.com/ideal. The book is available on Kindle, paperback, and Audible at reinventideal.com/ideal.